And I think emotions are hugely important in learning and a little bit in story too. I was skiing on Mount Ruapehu in 2015, and it was a beautiful day. The snow was glistening. I was at the top of a slope ready to go. Dad! Matia, my daughter, sprawled onto the snow beside me. You're in the way. It's a wide open slope. She could have skied around me. I leaned down to help her up. She didn't even put her hand out. I'm tired. She's not tired. She's a drama llama. If someone has the flu, she thinks she's got the flu. If someone has nits, she's got nits. Last month, a classmate was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. She thought she had type 1 diabetes. Come on, it's not far to the cafe. I'll get you a hot chocolate and swap with your mother. Mati just groaned and flopped back onto the snow. Dad! I'm not the world's most patient man. I've never met an automatic door that opens fast enough. I'll break into a cold sweat if I see a queue. I'll end a phone call if I'm asked to hold. What's the story? I need to pee. Really? 10 days later, she was complaining that she was tired again. So just before I went to sleep, I went to check on her. She wasn't in bed. I knew she wasn't in the loo. What the heck? I caught a sliver of light from the closet. Matia was sitting on the floor holding a torch. Rosie the bear was tucked under her arm, and in her lap there was a book. The reason she's so tired is no longer a mystery. Now I could growl and send her straight to bed, ban all devices, or call in the big guns, her mother. Instead I carried her to bed, lay down beside her and held her. When she dropped off to sleep, I swapped her pillow out for one that wasn't damp with tears. My tears. Because there's more to the story. We got back from that ski trip. I took Marty to the doctors. She didn't have the flu. No nits. She was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. The doctor said that if her blood sugars get too high, she could lose an eye. She could lose a leg. She could go blind. So she has to give insulin every time she eats to bring her blood sugars down. But if we get that dose wrong and her blood sugars drop too low, she could die. Matia was hiding in that closet, not because she was being naughty, because she was afraid that if she closed her eyes, she'd never wake up again. That's what I'm afraid of too. I tuck the duvet under her chin, and I wonder how often I've judged people like Matia, people with their own invisible stories. Medical conditions, mental health problems, trauma. That lady who cut me off in traffic. The child acting out in the classroom. The neighbour who mows his lawns on a Sunday at 6 a.m. Can you imagine the stories behind that behaviour? That woman might have been rushing to the hospital. The child could have had an anxiety attack. Your lawn mowing neighbour, definitely just a garden variety psychopath. But as I closed the door, I knew that I needed to stop judging people or diagnosing them and just imagine there's more to the story. And sometimes it's important when you see that child that's acting out, when that guy's at the back of the room, when you've got problems with your staff member, to just imagine there's more to the story and take a breath. And I think that's a lot of the trauma-informed education that people have been talking about over the last few days, because emotion can play a huge part in education.